Окей, спасибо. Dear friends, DigiU project is together with you. Me, CEO Alexey Ognev is here, and I'm happy to greet you at our webinar. We started a little bit later. It happens sometimes. The broadcast is translated into 5 languages, and sometimes we have some delay due to all the translation, and this is just a normal process. I'm sorry, I apologize for a short delay, and I'm really happy to see you at this webinar. Please write in the chat how well you can see us, how well you can hear us. Please write where in the world are you. Today at our webinar, I will tell you about what we have achieved, what we have developed, what our AI lab has achieved, about our visit to Blockchain Live event, and about the AWA project, and, well, in general, about the changes related to AI are happening in the world right now. Please write your questions. I will answer a couple of them, and I have a formula here where the partners from the chats have already asked their questions. There might be there will be a couple of interesting news. I'm happy to greet each and every of you. This month there were lots of significant events for the whole ecosystem, and we shared the information with you. We shared the information about the AI lab, and it was quite in a lot of details. There is an interview with our Peter, who is responsible for the technical part, and he told us about all the technical details and what his lab is up to right now. And I recommend you to watch this webinar. And just to sum it up, and to sum up our achievements, as Peter mentioned, the predictive models we've been building for quite a long time, give us pretty accurate forecasts, 50 to 75%. At this webinar, a very important phrase was what Peter shared with us, and this is the accuracy of our forecasts. And he also mentioned that at the markets where we use those neural networks, we are competitors. Our competitors are such partners as Morgan Stanley. And our difference from those players is that they have huge funds, billions of US dollars, and they earn, and we don't have $1 billion, but we have the technology which allows us to predict, to forecast the future with the same amount of accuracy, and it allows us to compete. Within 2 years of our existence, we've achieved the level of competition which is comparable to Morgan and Stanley. And for me, as CEO, it was really, really nice to hear. And I would like to highlight this right now. And this is what I have to keep in mind. The next technical webinar for us, another technical webinar, and it was not even a webinar, we visited Blockchain Live exhibition. I visited it together with our Boris Power, the manager, the head of our blockchain lab. Everyone had a chance to meet our team. We brought basically the whole AWA team to that event because the current developments, the modern developments under pandemic, facing the lack of highly qualified staff, if you also deal with that, you know that a skilled team is distributed all over. And those of you who watched the video about the DigiU team, you know that our team is distributed all over the world, Moscow, Novosibirsk, Sochi, European countries, and this infrastructure, at this event, at this forum, at this exhibition, we basically, all those guys basically met for the first time personally, and the uniqueness of our stand was that we were one of the highest products at this event, because mostly it was about blockchain, about cryptocurrency mining, and there were mostly projects related to mining and listing and less technologically advanced developments. And in our stand, there wasn't a scripture telling cross-chain, and I spent a lot of time there, and there was always a queue. First of all, because Boris spoke about that in a lot of detail, from developers up to, and anyone, basically any visitor could get a very detailed description of the project. And this was what attracted people to our stand. And we solved a lot of issues, a lot of tasks at that event. The whole team met together, and it was the first live event where we presented our project to a wide scope of people, and those are people who were not experts in the cryptocurrency. If you watch that interview, Boris gives a very simple but very overwhelming explanation of what AVA is. And I would like to paraphrase. I'll try to paraphrase. It will be a definition interpreted by me. AVA is, how do we explain what AVA is? There are different islands, for example. People live on these islands, and AVA is a sort of transportation. And this is not a ship. This is not a boat, or not a railway, or not a plane. This is an infrastructure which can be compared to teleportation, if you know what it is. And it allows people to come from one island to another island, and to solve their tasks. And this is just the easiest, the simplest explanation, which we can also give to a 7-year-old child, and it will be clear to this child what it is. I recommend you to watch this interview, and it's pretty interesting. It's very interesting. There are lots of details. There's lots of information about the blockchain and what level AVA is now in the world. And why I'm telling you this, just to draw your attention to lots of activities, lots of efficient actions and activities happening within our DigiU ecosystem, and our speed, our rate, which we have gained within 23 months of our existence. In January, we're turning 5 years old. Oh, 2 years old, sorry. And there will be a conference. There will be a celebration conference devoted to our birthday party, and you are all of you are invited. And within the 23 months, we've accumulated a pretty high speed, and we're moving in all directions. Actually, we're successful in blockchain, we're successful in AI, we've got patents, we've developed predictive models which are highly accurate, which are really precise. And during the last year, we've implemented lots of developments, in particular computer vision. Our team is growing. Lots of highly skilled professionals are joining us, and they are strengthening our team, and we're great in our affiliate program, in our partners relations. And this is what allows us to finance our ecosystem, to finance our developments. And this is what allows us to build the community of like-minded individuals united by a common idea. We are successful in our venture fund. There are projects which we finance. Some of them were successful, some of them were not. And we made ourselves sound. We have partnerships with BR. We have a partnership with BR Capital venture fund, and this is the smart money which we keep mentioning in our posts. And this speed, this rate is very inspiring. This is inspiring for the whole team. This is inspiring for all the partners. If you follow our news, very recently, well, actually yesterday, we had a visit of our we had a visit of a representative, national representative from Cuba, who arrived to us, to our office, and it was the first visit of a foreign partner, of an international partner to our headquarters. And for me, I remember that in February 2020, we basically had the first visit of our partner. It was Alexander Nikolaev, and then there were lots of visitors from Russia. And the pandemic and all those restrictions, they basically made us communicate with our partners only online. But this visit, which was quite sudden, the partner just wrote to us and he told us that he wants to visit us and he wants to see everything with his own eyes, and it happened very quickly. And for us, for me, it was like a pigeon who brought the olive twig. And I think that this visit of Mr. Biliardo will open us to the world, and we will finally manage to visit the basic countries of our project. I would like to meet the partners from Indonesia, Vietnam, from the African countries, from the European countries, and I want to organize. We have something to discuss. We have something to tell them. And I think it's high time to meet them personally. And I hope it will happen next year. And this is the next step of our development. Personal meetings are always something which brings us to the new level. And I think Mr. Biliardo, after the visit to our headquarters, will share his impressions with the whole Spanish-speaking community about what he has seen here. And I think any partner activity, any activity in Latin America will grow and will grow. I would like to invite partners from Russia, to the partners from the other countries. Please come to us to Novosibirsk. We're open. Just contact us in advance and we will show you how we are creating, how we're developing AI, blockchain, how our ecosystem is functioning and functions, and it will always be interesting. There are lots of technical achievements. We've got lots of partnership achievements. We've got a new affiliate program, and it was accepted by the community the really great way. From the point of view of the webinars and meetings, is growing from month to month. There were over 30 events last month, and for this month we have already planned 35 or 40 events. And this is an evidence of the fact that the ideas broadcasted by us are understood, are accepted. And within those 2 years, people have been watching our progress. And now I would like to come to this surprise, which was given to us by the industry of advanced technologies. In 2019, when we presented the concept of our project, in this concept, for the majority of people, we spoke about an obscure concept of the digital copy of a human, which everybody must have due to some reason, which should penetrate our life, which should turn a person to the main income receiver of digital technologies. And quite recently, the concept of a meta universe entered our life. And a couple of days ago, I opened my newsline, and I see our president using the concept of the digital avatar and what should be done, so that this digital avatar pays taxes or something. And for me, it was a surprise. It was a nice surprise, not only for me, but also for our CSPO. In 2019, those things that we mentioned in 2019 about so we mentioned the digital avatar or the digital copy of a person, we predicted, we forecasted, and we thought that it would come in some 10 years. And well, it was in our concept, and please read our concept. And it was written that one of the issues mentioned by us is the medium for the existence of this digital twin. And we offered and we suggested a couple of ideas so that this digital copy would exist. Now, within 3 years or 2 years, due to pandemic or thanks to pandemic, the world has changed so much that this medium is being developed. Facebook has already renamed its company. Microsoft is developing the concept of the meta universe. In the blockchain area, there are more and more projects united by this word. And basically, this is a sort of, how should I put it? What I wanted to say is I'm really happy and I'm really proud that back in 2019, in the beginning of 2019, when we started developing the concept of our project, we were really accurate. We were highly accurate to predict the trends. The only mistake was that it won't happen in 10 years, but only in 3 years. And this is what is really warming for me. And this is what I would like to draw your attention to. This prediction, this accurate prediction made by us, and which is now being implemented into real life. And you are the ones who are watching this. And now I would like to mention our mission, the mission which we incorporated into the mission. Every person in every country of the world should be the one who gets benefits from new technologies. And you can see, you can notice that within those months, within those years or days or hours, it is reflected in all our projects, in AWA, in artificial intelligence, in the affiliate program. And this is what is really heartwarming for me, a heartwarmer. And all those thoughts which I shared with you right now make me feel really good. Now let us start answering the questions. I will first look at the Russian-speaking chat, and I'll start with the questions asked by partners in the social media. There was a post about the webinar, and some people asked a couple of questions. I think we will always do it like this. We will post the information, and it will be possible to write your questions. Also, there will be some news about the dividends, so please stay with us. And now I will look at a couple of questions. The country, I can't see the country, I can only see the language. There are some questions in English. How many shares have you sold already, and when will you stop selling the shares? We haven't discussed that for a long time. It's a good question. By the time we're paid out the dividends in May, at that time, we sold less than 1% of our shares, of our registered securities. Now, taking into consideration the growth of the price of our shares, we've reached maybe 1% of the sold registered securities shares. We always look at this value before repaying out the dividends. And this is the basis for our calculations, for the calculations of our dividends. We look at the profits earned by us. 50% is the dividends, and this is what is written in our concept. And this is divided by the number of shares we sold. And not maybe the majority of the partners, but there are partners who bought our packages in the very beginning. And well, they bought large packages, and of course, they get big dividends. All the others, well, for the others, they are not really high. The dividends are not really high. But if you calculate, if you make calculations, the second payout was twice as much, and the trend is right, just right. The next question. Does DigiU plan to create its own blockchain? I would answer this question in the following way. What you see right now in our AWA project and its concept is the step forward, and it's the step beyond blockchain. And now I'll try to explain why. You can pay attention to the simple fact that blockchain is basically, there are lots of blockchains right now, and each and every of them is different. Some of them are quicker and faster, some of them are cheaper. There are some fundamental differences. There are smart contracts in some of them, and there are some other facts. This changes nothing. There are lots of blockchains. That's important. And each and every of them is fighting for the users. And thanks to the fact, due to the fact that Boris Power, CEO of AVA project, has offered a very interesting idea, which implies unification for the favor of the final users, of the end users. And basically, it is not necessary for us to create our own blockchain. We offer an opportunity to our users to solve their task in any of the blockchain existing, no matter which of the blockchains this user applies, because there are lots of opportunities, but only some people, only a few people can use them. And it's, of course, when there will be millions or even billions of users, it will change the industry. And first of all, we are striving for that, not for the creation of our own blockchain, because it's something like, it's not really what should be done, and this is not the real market demand. Does DigiU plan to create its own social network based on blockchain or artificial intelligence? No, we don't have any plans like that. We have never actually discussed something like that. We always mentioned our mission. We always mentioned our long-term mission. And we always mentioned some certain steps aimed at the development of a digital copy, of a digital twin of a person. And we are quite successful in that. Please read our concept. Next year, it will be supplemented. A couple of other forecasts, our further forecasts will be added to our mission. And on December the 5th, there will be a conference. The conference will be translated into all languages. Maybe it will be at the same time, but I recommend you to be with us on the 5th of December, and you will hear lots of interesting information, loads of interesting information. We will tell you about the issues, about our success, and we'll share our plans for the coming year and our strategic plans for the next 5 years. But based on the fact that our forecasts, not even the forecasts, but the plans implemented by 200%, 300% have all come true. So I recommend you to be with us on our conference day. Next question, what startups will be implemented into the DigiU ecosystem? First of all, we're interested in the startups based on AI. First of all, on those areas where we are competent, and this is computer vision, speech technologies, and natural language processing, geometry and predictive analytics, and startups in the area of blockchain. But there is a key issue here, a key issue which we have mentioned a couple of times, which is the capacity of our venture fund, which is selecting the promising startups, and the finances, the funds, which actually are not always enough to finance lots of projects at the same time. Now we focus on our internal projects. First of all, AWA, because we want AWA to enter mainnet during the first quarter of the next year, and we want that project to start earning money. And I think it should be mentioned, it should be discussed if we speak about some third-party startups, of course. We will start speaking about that next year. But if we speak about our own projects, one of the projects which we will present very soon, this is the project based on predictive analytics, and it will either be a part of our DigiU wealth infrastructure as an extra income source, or it will be a separate project, or it can be both. So follow our news. After everything's ready, as soon as everything's ready, and we know that it works in a stable way, as stable as DigiU Wealth, we will present it. And I see an offer, a suggestion from one of our partners. I think there is someone from India, because it is in English. The partner suggests not paying out dividends, but investing all the funds into the developments. And he is looking for more success. And this is what I can read in English. I am not really an expert. I have already heard such issues, such questions. Why are you paying out dividends? Amazon doesn't always do that. IKEA doesn't always do that, or things like that. But I would like to share my opinion, our opinion about dividends, which is actually demonstrated by all the founders. We are entrepreneurs. Most of us are entrepreneurs, apart from Peter, who is an expert in the technical part. And the skill to earn money, the skill to create value added, the added value is the characteristic of a healthy business. And when we discussed that last year, and we found out that we have a project that can earn money, we agreed on the fact that it should be something that brings dividends to our investors, because this is a characteristic of a healthy system. And it is also a symbol of us moving in the right direction. If we have earned, then we must actually keep to our promises, and we keep to our promises, and we do it a couple of years earlier than we promised, because in December, last week of December, I think it will be the 27th to the 30th, all partners will get their dividends, the second this year, and I would like to congratulate all of you with that. And I would like to draw your attention that all of you who invested into the DigiU ecosystem, or for everybody who is just planning to do that, now there is a unique offer. Now there are some offers, and you can actually double your package at the price of 13 cents, or there are some customized, personalized offers which you can find in your personal account. You can purchase the registered securities of our company, and in a month, you will get your dividends. Maybe it will be your first dividends ever. And this is what our partners always used in the most efficient way. And, well, please do that. This is what I would like to call for. In 2025, the IPO, if we take into account IPO, in 2025, the price of your shares, what it might be? Well, again, please look at our concept, and we have already answered that question. We don't do any forecasts in terms of prices. We just keep in mind that IT companies show high capitalization figures, and now it's really hard to forecast something in terms of IPO, first of all for us themselves, for ourselves. If we do predict something, we do it at the level of certain projects, because the main company itself does not necessarily have to do that. It can be some concepts, some closed companies which bring profits, not necessarily the main company. Such forecasts, I think they would not be correct. So just read our mission, just read our 13 keystones, and just compare it to the growth of the shares, to the increase of the prices of shares of the other IT companies or high-tech companies. Now I'll answer a couple of questions from the Russian chat. In what proportions do you offer tokens in relations to the DigiU shares? Okay, in our posts, we mentioned that as soon as Ava project is ready, we will do a snapshot. This is the concept which is already available. Of course, we will notify you about the amount of the sold shares, and based on that, the tokens will be distributed among the shareholders. This is the bonus which we have already mentioned, and this is exactly the bonus for our partners. Follow our news, please, guys. It's too early to speak about that. But please follow our news, and we will notify you about all the news related to Ava. Did you have any plans to... did you achieve your plans in terms of the DigiU wealth assets or funds? Now our assets are approximately $4 to $5 million US. This is the amounts invested by our partners, and this is the assets that work right now. Can you offer lower packages at lower prices? Well, DigiU wealth was decreasing, but it was not always successful. And there was a moment that we thought that wealth is a very specific project, a very specific product. First of all, for the company and for the partners, it's interesting from the point of view of the minimum investments. If you invest a lot, this is interesting for you and this is interesting for us. And maybe one day this product will be a sort of a business product because there is an offer from white label fund when we offer our services. And the goal of wealth is to be the stable product, the product that brings incomes, that brings profits. If you think that the deposit is high and you don't find the other conditions, some other conditions to be proper, this is dictated by the market where this product is offered. And it works according to a certain formula which brings incomes. We do everything for our mission to be fulfilled based on different products. And I think that in future, there will be some other products aimed at different segments of our audience from the point of view of lower deposits or higher deposits. But again, I would like to mention again, this is just the beginning. Just wait a little. What about the verification for the other countries? This is not the verification, I think. I think you mentioned KYC. By the end of this year, I think we will open KYC for the other countries, for all countries. And so please, I think this process might be faster, but it is the matter of capacity, and it's not even the capacity, but it's just a huge amount of owners, of people from different countries where KYC is not the most frequent story, and they just are unable to fill in all the information. But our experts would like to be very precise in this process, because all the registered securities should be registered correctly. They must comply with all the personal details, because any regulator, any financial regulator must receive the information, the accurate and precise information. But now we have to ensure stability of this process. But as many partners from different countries have noticed, they are happy with KYC. About the dividends, when and how much, I have already answered this question. And it will be the last week of December, 27th to the 30th. Some of these days we will pay out the dividends. So please be quick to buy the packages, our packages. Starting from December the 1st, we are increasing the price of our shares. This is not really significant, but this is still significant for us from the point of view of what I have already mentioned. And I would like to ask many partners, so our existing partners have a chance to double their packages. And please use this opportunity before we pay out the dividends. And the last question. Well, about blockchain, I think not today. Okay, there are no more questions. I see just lots of when will KYC start for Europe? I'm not really ready to answer about the exact date, but I think it will happen this year. So please follow the news. I think we will open this. We will open this within the coming weeks. When will AVA token be launched? Now we are at the stage of alpha testing, and recently I visited AVA chats, and there's 123,000 registered users. This is incredible. And if some of you have not yet visited AVA, just do it. The team is highly skilled. The team which is working on the testing is highly skilled, and the process is now much better than it was at the earlier stages. So please subscribe to our newsletter. Just participate and then get your bonuses. Okay, once again, watch the webinar with our technical director. Watch the webinar with Boris. Read something about the meta universe. Read our concept. After that, purchase a package or a couple of packages of our registered securities. Now there are special offers. Now the price has not been increased yet, and you have some time, dear friends. I thank you for your questions. There were lots of questions today, and I was happy to answer them. Thank you very much for being with us today. Goodbye.